took that video down. Yes, I did. Okay. Because I had to go back and listen to what I was saying, how I was saying it when I was talking about Auntie. Okay. Got a little bit triggered, but some people can do certain things and they can get away with it. It don't bother them, but then it doesn't work for all of us, okay? So what I did was disrespectful to the dead, okay? To an ancestor, regardless to, you know, what our relationship was here on the earthly plane, how I felt disrespected. At the same time, too, you understand, it's just the way you have to address the pain. So that was very ugly of me. Hey Burke, how you doing? First to the chat. For me to be angry and hey, how you doing, Gail? Thank you for moderating. Um, hey Tracy. Uh-huh. So okay, got you, Saint Anne. How you doing? Well, so I must apologize. It was just not. It was not a good thing. It was very unprofessional of me and very disrespectful once again to my aunt. So I have to apologize, regardless to how mean and nasty she was. It still did not give me you understand, the heart to be so mean. So that's why I said I was going to come back and address that because, sometimes you just get really in your emotions and your feelings and stuff, then you have to get them in check. And that's one of my biggest problems, discipline. Discipline has been a very major problem for me. You understand? I work so hard, and I'm 60 years old. You may as well say, and I'm still really working hard at it. So, I owe you an apology, Auntie. Just like I came on here and I was an asshole about it, I have to come here in public. You understand? And apologize to you. So let me tell you what happened. So Auntie told me long ago that she was arguing with some women around the corner from her. Because Auntie would get some clothes on and walk around the corner and talk to the old ladies and stuff. And they got an argument. And when she got through arguing, she got home. And I told y'all about that. She had a baseball cap on. She took the baseball cap off. And lo and behold, there was a lizard on top of her head. And she said the lizard turned brown, the color of her skin tone. That's kind of like how lizards do. They kind of blend in with the color of whatever they're next to, whatever. Well, Auntie paid me a visit just a little while ago, and I was like, okay. I could hear the lizard, making this little noise and everything. I ain't see it, but I knew it was there, and I said, "Oh Lord, that's Auntie. Oh, she paying me a visit." Auntie paying me a visit. Like them lizards be saying, oh, oh. I said, oh, goodness. So I put the cat out so the cat can get to it. So it ran, and I guess it ran somewhere. I don't know. I don't hear it anymore or what have you. And I just had this epiphany. My spirit says, that's Auntie. And I talked to Willie about it. And I said, you know what? And matter of fact, I was actually listening to me go off on Auntie when I started hearing the lizard. I was like, oh my God, it's her. It's actually her. And when I just listened to it, oh, I just felt terrible hearing myself talk like that. So, anyways, I'm just here to say I am so sorry. Um, I think that the higher councils expect better from me. or better from me. And I was just making all kind of mistakes, just talking all off the top of my head and everything. You know what I mean? And it's just an experience that you all will never understand that I had with Auntie. Everybody just see a sweet old lady, and a lot of people just don't see or cannot comprehend what really went down between the two of us. It was really a lot of bad blood. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. She turned my biological mother against me. Okay, it was a lot that went down. Me and my biological mother was coming together, coming up with a plan to meet, and she really separated the two of us. And because my auntie said, I wished I could be your mom, my auntie couldn't have any kids, so she was jealous, okay, of the relationship between me and my biological mama. So, I harbored a lot of resentment about that, but I went along, and had my relationship with her. And then I told you all about the other things that Auntie had done. She would talk about me like really bad behind my back to people. They would come back and tell me what she said. It was really bad blood between the two of us. It really was. And my daughters did not like her. And they asked me, they questioned me, why do you go around her? Why do you give her money? She's just not a nice person, mama. So I put up with a lot. But I think what really got to me the most when somebody brought up in the chat was what she said to the family when she said that I put voodoo on her, the reason why she was dying. And y'all gotta realize that's a hard blow when you giving somebody $200 a month and you're buying them, whatever they need and all of that, and they would say something like that. They heard it. And so what I did, I just harbored a lot of anger from it, and y'all just heard the outburst, which is not proper. It's definitely not spiritual. So we have to respect the dead. If there's an ancestor and you didn't get along good with an ancestors, rather than to come out and get ugly and cuss them out or what have you, it's best just not deal with it because you can't fix it. If you couldn't fix it here on the earthly plane, you can't fix it over there on the other side. So, my apologies to this lady, my apologies to her. And I'm just hoping that this will make things right because she came to me tonight, just a little while ago. She made herself very, very, and I'm not afraid of her now. Don't ever think that I'm afraid of Auntie and not like that. But she came in the form of a lizard, you know. And I know y'all gonna say, what the hell? But yeah, that was her. She was she was she was making some noise. I'm sitting up here on the sofa now because I said I might just watch me a little. I like to watch spooky movies before I go to sleep. Would love to have a little snack too, but and right behind me, I heard wow, wow. It started off with a shadow. It was like this sharp shadow had came across and hovered a little bit around my head, and then it backed off, and then I heard wow, wow. I said, okay, that's a lizard. I said, well, bring the cat in here. Cat was trying to get it, but it was behind the wall. And then I said, that's Auntie. Auntie came and paid her niece a visit. Auntie, come on now. Come on, we got history now. Don't come over here and bother me right now. Let me get me a little bit of sleep, And I know I was wrong. I was wrong. Mama don't want to have to pull her crosses out that you gave her. She woman gave me so many wooden crosses around here till it ain't funny. She believed in them wooden crosses. Oh, you got problems? And which room you got problems in? Oh, this room right here, huh? Put this wooden cross up. She taught me, I ain't gonna lie, she taught me a lot. But now, I'm not gonna sit down here and pretend as if though I wasn't already gifted, because I've always was gifted before I met her. You know what I mean? But I don't want to make things worse. But I just wanted to let you all know that I was in the wrong. I took the video and I trashed it. I trashed the video. Auntie hovered over me like a shadow. Yes, she did. Auntie, I don't know what's going on the other side. I ain't trying to abandon you or nothing like that, but let me live. You understand? Just like you got an opportunity, let me live. I don't want to get involved. I can't help you. Somebody was saying, well, you. Okay, somebody told me that they can help, comfort Auntie and encourage her to go into the light and move on, what have you. You know, no one can do anything like I just don't believe anybody could do anything like that because you got some spirits on the other side, souls or whatever. They got unfinished business, and Auntie got a lot to be heard about, but I can't fix it. It is not my fault that the man took her and basically just had her just laying out with a hospital gown on and everybody viewing her body and her hair was all messed up. You could see the struggle she had to stay alive. And he didn't even say, hey, niece or somebody, family, y'all get a nice dress, get a hair fix or whatever. She deserved that. I said, it ain't my problem, but at the same time, too, I can't control it, but I was upset when I said it, but you know, I had to really think about it. She really is upset and she ain't resting. And now that I've gotten whiff of the fact that she passed away 2019, she's kind of like I'm giving energy, and as I give energy to her, she's starting to manifest. You see what I mean? For 7 years, there was no manifestation because I was not giving energy to her. Here and there, I would have these little visions of her living in this little tiny cottage by the swamps and me visiting her late at night that was a visitation, but at the same time too, I didn't know she had passed, but now that she knows that I know that she has passed, she is really starting to develop more maturely and come to me. And that's not right. It's not right for you to tell a person, don't come to my funeral and don't call me anymore and hang up in their face. But then when you see on the other side, you didn't even get a decent burial. Hmm. Now you're upset with me like there's nothing I could do. The man never contacted me and tell me anything. You need to go over there and talk to the niece over there. And I'm not going to call her name, because I got a feeling she watched. You need to have a conversation with her. Y'all need to talk it out. She was the one coming to the nursing home. When y'all didn't want me to show up and come over there, you need to have a conversation with her, whatever. And this is just me, y'all, having a talk with her. Like I talked to her and was ugly to her on live. I got to do this right. So you got to rest yourself, lady, and hold. You can't hold him responsible because he's gone now, but he was the one. I know you were saying call Vanita, call Vanita. But by that time it was too late. Call Vanita. Vanita would have helped me. She would have did this. She would have did that. Yes, I would have. I would have. Now after you had gotten ugly about the situation, no, I wouldn't have. Y'all having a whole seance. Thank y'all for listening. No, I couldn't do that. I don't think nobody in this chat room will let somebody cuss them out and then they come there to the rescue to help them out. Nobody's going to do that. You understand? People have feelings. And that's not teaching. Uh, that's not good teaching for me. It shows the universe that I will allow somebody to disrespect me and still hold them what in high regard. You understand? Like treat them like the beautiful, wonderful person after they've been nasty to me. No, because then the universe is gonna send more people just like that. But anyways, yeah, she had a right to be upset, but I think she really is upset with the wrong person. I ain't gonna say Auntie was upset. I think I was more or less upset. I have a tendency when people pass away to get kind of upset with them, you know kind of like, oh, you should have contacted me, you should have let me know you was sick, that kind of thing, you understand? Harboring I was harboring some type of um, anger towards that. Once again, that she didn't call and let me know that she was that sick, you know. And then I was upset also because I wanted more for her. And so that's what y'all heard. Y'all heard me going off like that. It was just me saying, "Hey, look, that's not the way I wanted you to go down, man. You were good friends, and we had our kind of ups and downs. It was rocky. I ain't gonna lie, but that ain't the way I wanted my auntie to leave here like that. Even though the other cousin gave her a little memorial and everything, that was nice, and the cousin didn't say anything to me about it because the cousin legit had some bad thoughts towards me, and the cousin just did not realize the lady said she didn't like her either. You understand? But I did not one time did I say anything. It's funny how people can come to me and say, "Oh, she didn't like you." Well, she didn't say that. She said she was angry with me. But it's so funny that I cannot say the same and say, "Well, I hate to say it. She didn't like." She said she didn't like you either. Cause see, the person was already having an issue with me from the beginning. She was. You see what I mean? So I decided I ain't going to the family reunion. If y'all listen, I don't want to go over there. I'm not. I'm talking about on my mama's side. I ain't going over there. I just don't have time for the tit for tats and all of this weirdness y'all got going on over there. I ain't got nothing to do with it. So if you're listening to me, I don't want to go over there. Y'all got too many lineage problems. And let me watch. Let me watch it because that's not even what this video is supposed to be about. But y'all got a lot of problems over there. Y'all got a lot of what you call that? What you call them? Repeat cycles thing, generational curses and stuff. It's looking bad over there, y'all. You have so many problems over there. You're sickly and everything. And y'all ain't gonna be y'all can't no. Ethel, I am sorry. I know you're a very sick person. Very sick. But I'm only sorry because I was running my mouth, but I can't be sorry about the fact that that's the way that man did you. You knew he didn't like you. Y'all broke up. You're divorced for a reason because y'all couldn't get along. Look what he did to you. Why is you upset with me? Mm? So, anyways, that's the way you went down with it. You knew all he wanted was your little piece of change money, and when he got all his change money, he ran off. You got to find it somewhere in your soul and being, okay? To move on. Remember, you said you don't want to stay at my house when you got sick. Move on and let us be over here. I'm not trying to be funny. 7 years is a long time. We can't accommodate you here. Okay? With your lizard sounds and all of that, or whatever, trying to make yourself known. We can't accommodate you here. You need to go over there with the niece over there and stay at her house because I can't, baby. I don't have the expertise to fix what you got going on over there. And you came to me in my sleep and what you said, do it myself. Stop trying to make a slave out of folks. That what you told me? I agree 100 with you. And the same goes for you. Don't make no slave out of me. But at the end of the day, y'all think we done got that straight. Me and Auntie had to get her straight now because she came to me. She was over here in the form of a lizard. Okay? Auntie, hopefully you'll find your peace on the other side. It's just the way it went down. When you start excluding people from your life and getting angry and hostile with the people who are trying to help you, this is the results of this. One thing I can say is this: you taught me a good lesson. When people are trying to help me, I don't need to bite the hand that feeds me. You taught me a lot. I'm never gonna act like that if somebody comes to me and want to help me with anything, because I might need them people. I ain't burning no bridges, Auntie. So thank you for the lesson. So go in peace. Go back into the void if you want to, or the light. I have given you a formal apology. Okay. They said cats are very spiritual. That cat went to scratching on the wall and everything, and then she left. Yeah, Auntie was a real life witch. Yeah, she was. That's a true witch. So, well, how you doing? Hey, I thank y'all for listening in. Hey, Gail, thank you for moderating. Burke first to the chat. Uh huh. Okay. 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 Hey, Tracy, formerly known as Saint Anne. Hey, Millicent, how you doing? Hey, Ra, how you doing? Are you serious? Ross said, thanks for your insights. Your voice can be so soothing, especially late at night. That's my voice is my adopted mother's voice. My adopted mother had the most beautifulest voice. I never heard her ever raise her voice. Never. It was so, her voice was so melodic, you know? And that's where I picked that up from. That's the gift I got from her. When that lady got angry, ooh, look like I'm gonna be talking about you, Mama Edna, don't it? When my mother got angry, oh, something different, something very different about her. She she smiled when she was upset with you. Could you imagine? She smiled and she challenged you. And not only did she smile and challenge you, she liked to use psychology on you. Oh, like one of these things, you know what? You know what, Vanita? I'm gonna whoop your ass. But I'm not gonna do it now because I'm too angry. I don't want to hurt you. I'll probably do it in 4 or 5 days. So you got all of these days. See, that's that psychology she used. You got about 4 or 5 days to be worried about that ass whooping. That's how she was. Never did she raise her voice. Matter of fact, nobody raised their voice. I didn't raise my voice. My sister didn't raise her voice. My dad never raised a voice. My mom and daddy, they didn't argue like the traditional arguing. It was just like so brief. It was like my dad was like, he didn't say nothing when she got on him. It was just he was so afraid of my mother. And she was like, okay, such and such and such and such like that. He wouldn't say anything. He was scared. He was scared, baby. And she would always say, I shade every bit of my ground. You understand? She thought she was the biggest, the baddest. Honey, when my mama left here with the big C, she turned into a little baby. She was so she was so childlike, and I was like, where is all of that confidence and ego? What happened to it, baby? God will whoop you in front of everybody. Hello? He will take the paint off your behind. Do you hear me? So, like I said, Auntie, I'm sorry. And number one, don't y'all forget, I am humbled. I am humbled. But yeah, Mama would she would read books to us and stuff before we went to sleep at night, very early on. And this is the voice that she would use. This is her voice that she used. And it's not like I'm copying off of her. It's just the fact I was raised by this lady. And so quite naturally, I'm going to take on, because you began to speak like the people that teach you how to speak. You see? So that's a lot of what y'all hear. It comes for her. And she would be like, when she laughed, she'd be like, when y'all hear me do that, that'd be my mama. Like it, never. She would always say, never. Mama, you gonna do something, this such and such, such and such says she wants you to, we being messy. Such and such says she won't do what such a never, never. And she would always be like this right here. I leave him before he leave me. Leave him before me. So we just would sit down and play with my mom, playtime when she would play with us, but she was a very serious woman. My mama didn't necessarily, I can't say she ever laughed. And when she smiled, we knew we were in trouble. You know what I mean? So this lady used to confuse people. I never will forget. Mama would always say, "I'm surprised that you," and I had learned in school, surprise was a good thing. But Mama was like, "I am so surprised at you." That's one of those words that could be used in two different contexts. So I'm like, wait, uh, I was happy. Vanita, I am surprised at you. And I was like happy. And I got home, I got my ass whooped. So I was confused, like, why did I get a whipping? I thought she was surprised. I thought she was happy, you know what I mean? So the word surprise was always confusing to me when she said, "I'm surprised at you." So which one is it? Are you happy with me this time? Or are you mad? Yeah, so it's just like one. I'm just having a moment, y'all, with these ancestors or whatever, you know. But anyway, so no, I'm not gonna ever take a dig at the dead again, y'all. Never gonna do that, cause see, I'm also in a position of people learning from me. So if someone is in here and they think it's okay, then they can go and disrupt uh, a peace in the spirit realm because they say, okay, she doing it, I can do it. And I'm gonna be responsible for all of that, y'all. I sure don't want to. Uh-huh. Okay. So it's best to be respectful if you want privileges in here. Because if you don't want no privileges in here, you don't want to act right, guess what? You get eliminated. Okay. Okay. Oh, Tracy, I missed you too. It's been a minute, hadn't it? Did you? Okay. Tracy said, "Oh my God, I needed to hear you. I can't believe that I actually got the live notification." Well, look like they gonna get on it, don't it? Ha 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 ha. Tracy said, "That's nightmare fuel when they smile." Yes, it is. Hey, Cosmic Stylist, how you doing? Okay. So let's just do some recapping on the video that I had to wind up deleting. We spoke about me having a travel for a change, and I was having issues having my travel because of the Palladian. So I finally had the opportunity to travel earlier this morning, and they were trying to trip me up and confuse me. And there was this being that had no hair, and it was a melanoid that came, and it gave me a prophecy. And as it spoke the prophecy to me, I actually wound up in a different reality. And in that reality, it's like I set a fire in my backyard to burn something, which is very interesting because I have like a lot of, I had two trees to go down in my backyard, and they are just tough to burn. They're gum trees, but they are difficult to burn like oak. Live oak is very difficult to burn. So we've been just trying to burn on this stuff and burn on stuff, and ain't nothing happening. It's not burning up or what have you. But in the actual other reality, I was in another location, and I and somebody else tried to set the trees on fire to burn them or what have you. And it was a blaze out of this world when I was inside, and I went to lay down, and I just did not feel comfortable. I said, this can really seriously get out of control. And so I asked the person, I said, could you please help me put this fire out? They ran up steps and said, let me see if I can get some help. And then I said to myself, if I don't hurry and do something about this, then this fire is really going to get to a point where it's going to spread to other people's houses. So I decided to get the hose pipe and run outside and hose the fire off. But when I was out there, and this was at nighttime, there was not a fire in my yard. The fire was in other people's yard. So the people behind me, I mean, houses were like, they were like actually blowing up, fire coming from them. And even though it was night, the sky was lit. You could see black smoke coming out of it or what have you. And so I was like, oh my God, everything is going to burn, just completely burn up. But in that prophecy, I mean, in that revelation, the a prophecy that I had was that we're gonna have, y'all brace yourselves, and I don't want to cause no panic, but I do need to say this, that there's going to be trouble. We said trouble in D.C., trouble in Alabama, Florida. I don't know about Georgia, Mississippi, and Louisiana, New York, and California. That there's going to be some type of bomb or fire or something of that nature. So I wanted to do a recap since you all won't have that video to watch because I had to take it down. I think we talked about some other things, but I quite remember them. I wished I could, but maybe I can catch it on another video. Anybody got any questions here? Anybody got any questions? We talked about the charms. We talked about destiny swapping. Yes, we did. We had a little conversation about destiny swapping, because that's the new craze. You'll hear a lot of card readers and psychics talk about, hey, they're destiny swapping with you. This is the reason why, you can't get your life right and everything. Your love life is off, and you can't manifest because there's some destiny swapping going on. And I did a little bit of commentary on that to let you all know that, it's not what people think it is. When people are walking around saying, oh, I don't have certain things because, somebody destiny swapped, they gave me their sloppy life and I got this. Watch those type of people. These are usually the people who can't get it right. They cannot get it right. They have karmic debt that they don't want to pay for. They make so many excuses. They do not take any responsibility for the mess that they made. They don't want to clean the mess up. You know what I mean? And so what they do, they shift the blame. These type of people are very dangerous. You need to be careful with these people because rather than to put in the work, they would rather blame the people that they may have jealousy and malice of taking their life. So it's just, say for instance, it was me. Okay, I'm gonna, I don't have anything. I'm just fucked up. And no matter what I do, I can't get it right. Okay. When you just can't get it right, you understand? It's something really going on in your mind and your head, something mental. You're having some kind of mental issue, some traumatic experiences that may have stemmed from childhood. And it has you on a course where you are just really setting up so much karmic debt for yourself, spiritual debt for yourself. You're not really paying attention to the things that you got wrong. You just won't pay attention to it. That's just like, say for instance, let me talk about this. So I get on here and rant by aunt. talk nasty about her. Say, for instance, I start cursing. You understand? Just losing my mind. And then I just move on like nothing happened. Well, when I start seeing that there are some issues popping up on my journey, then I'm like, okay, a responsible person, especially a spiritual responsible person, would say, let me reflect on what I did. Oh, I was wrong. They apologize, they make it right. But then the person who don't never take any responsibility for anything and they blame everybody for their problems like they do no wrong, those are the people I'm talking about that are quick to say, I'm having a destiny swap because their lives are just a wreck. They just don't take responsibility for nothing, no accountability for nothing. It's always somebody else did this to them. So when they see a person getting the things that they want, and usually these are most people who are getting the things that they want, they're planning it. They're planning, they're working on things. They're working on their credit reports. They're working on investments. They're working on, you see what I'm saying? They positioning themselves for success. And these people that I'm talking about who always claiming they have been destiny swapped on are quick to find the person that's getting the things that they want, that they feel like they are better than. They are just ready to fire the bullet. I supposed to have all of that. But did you work on your credit report? No one wants to hear that, oh, somebody just stole my credit and they just went on head on and did this and did all of this. This is why I ain't got the things I want. That goes back to the blame shifting. It goes back to that. So most of your so-called destiny swapper victims, hello, they are not being responsible with the decisions that they're making. They're not working on self-help. They're busy looking for faults and flaws in other individuals rather than to focus on their own. That was pretty big of me to come back and admit I was wrong and say, I'm sorry. You got these destiny swapper victims that don't know how to say, hey, look, I'm sorry. I made some mistakes down the way. Maybe I can fix this by trying to work on certain things. I see the lady down the street just bought a brand new Lexus. Rather than for me to say she destiny swapped me, I was supposed to have the Lexus. I got to reflect on my own life. Is my credit right? Do I have the income to purchase it? No one is going to let you purchase a Lexus if you don't have sufficient income, and you have to prove that you got the income to purchase these things. No one's going to give it to you and then you renege. The reason why you don't have the house with the marble floors and stuff like that is because you cannot prove to the bank that you can make the payment and you don't have a down payment. Some down payments are much as 20 to 30%. You're looking at a house that's 300 some thousand, 400 some thousand, then you need what? Sometimes what? 10, 20, 30% of that 400,000, 300,000. Do you have that? Well, I just looking at my buddy down the road. He just went and built him a house, marble floors everywhere. He destiny swap with me. So you definitely don't want that to be. I don't believe in destiny swapping. Now, I talked about it. I said some people can try to write scripts and petitions for you. That's why it's very important that you write your own. Somebody can narrate your journey. We talked about that, remember? But no one can destiny swap with you. No one can take your destiny. It's yours. It's yours to have. Just don't let nobody sit down and write your petitions, your affirmations, your scripts. You understand? Your screenplays. That's something you should be doing. And it should always start off like this. If there are any other petitions, manuscripts, whatever you want to call them, written for me, they have been written in false pretense. And then you go and write your own. And they you just say any of them written out for me, and I didn't write them. They're written under false pretense, and they have now been canceled out. Because you have some author authorities that can write your destiny out for you, and you'll be following it, and it can lead to failure and demise. Yes, that's a possibility if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Every day I affirm what's supposed to be for me. You can orally do it too. But the reason we write them down is so that you can remember and recite it over and over again. But I don't believe in nobody telling me, okay, nobody come here and tell me that the doctor down the road, okay, that's got this here $1 million mansion, $3 million mansion, whatever. 5 children, beautiful wife, nice cars in the driveway. Actually, destiny swap with them, and they're living in somebody else's home. I'm not gonna believe that. You living in somebody's home, in somebody else's home, and then we look at your habits and everything. Good spirits don't like bad habits. You have a habit of doing things like a slob. You know, money spirits don't like that. And I can give you some examples of them because I be, guilty of it myself. Smoking cigarettes, drinking beers, and all of it. They don't like junk. Even though I got my heap over here because I and I'm doing all my stuff. That attracts a different type of spirit. Money spirits like organization. Is everything organized around you? You sitting down belching and everything, drinking beers and Coca-Colas and Dr. Peppers and all of that. You understand? Eating fried chicken and which don't get me wrong, I do it too. You eating bad foods and everything, they look at you and they don't want to associate with you. You got bad qualities for good spirits. Spirits don't just they like people with good habits, like to go get up and walk, go to the gym. People who do things like that tend to be a little bit more successful. You sit down, you frying fried chicken 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and burping and all of that, sitting up late at night, just eating just bad food, mashed potatoes and gravy and all of that stuff at night. Oh, good spirits don't like that. And we shouldn't be eating that late at night, no way. Okay. And like I said, now don't think I'm just passing judgment towards somebody. I'm talking about myself. Right now, we projecting right now. They don't want that. Because at nighttime, your body is supposed, unless you working now. If you work night shift, it's different. But if you ain't working night shift and you got a stomach full of food, you're not going to be able to go to sleep. Your body's too busy trying to process all of that food when it should be. Your digestive system should be what? Resting. Good spirits don't want part of that. The bad spirits are what got you eating late at night. And you have to talk to them, and say, hey, look, I found for myself personally that I do better if I eat um if I eat around 2 or 3 o'clock, have my dinner around that time, I don't be hungry at night. It just takes my appetite away. But if I eat late, like 8, 9, I find that I'll eat I eat my dinner late, and then all through the night, then okay, I want to eat all this other stuff, popcorn and different little things like that. So it's best to get your food in early, so your body will have time to, like, your stomach, your digestive tract has time to realign itself, because you get a new, people don't realize daily you get a new lining in your gut on a daily basis. It's replicating itself, putting a whole new sheet of tissue there, because the acid is so volatile in your stomach to digest food until it, you see what I mean? you know, to keep it from digesting itself, it realigns itself. That's how I want to put it. You know what I mean? And that gut's something serious. A lot of people take the gut for granted, but it is a very systematic organ. Your gut is where everything is. Your gut feeling, you know what I mean? It's a spiritual place. It also carries away waste, and it's where your immune system. A lot of your immune system is in your gut. And I've heard that your gut can get messed up so bad, especially when you're dealing with IBS, that you have to have a gut transplant. And I said, what? I've never heard of a gut transplant. Where they actually take portions of a cadaver's, a person who's passed away. That's like when you pass away, if you want to be a donor. I mean, they take just about everything: your skin, your eyes, you know, even the gut, and I didn't know that, whatever. You understand? Even bones. I talked to a man who was in a car accident, and he fractured his tibia, and they gave him a cadaverous tibia. And I was like, wow, I didn't know they do that. And he said he can't tell any difference. He walks good, and they gave him that so he wouldn't have to have metal rods and stuff like that in his leg. Oh, that's so sweet. Ross said, I bet you can mesmerize someone with that soothing voice too. Quite a powerful. Look, here's the thing. I do have some trouble with some people. I do have clients that totally speak over my voice. My hard-headed clients that just keep running, blah, 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 blah. No matter what I tell them, they're not necessarily listening, because the frequency in my voice, they take it as maybe something that they can just, you know, I don't think they even hear it sometimes. So, and that takes a lot of energy out of me, because they don't take it serious. So, um, I find myself sometimes with some people having to raise my voice. They seem to hear that, especially if you curse, which I have never had to curse a client out or what have you. But if you curse them, oh, I tell you, they'll hear that. But yeah, it is a downfall to having a voice like this, because hard headed people won't listen to you. Oh, that's so cool. Rod said, I know time seems to fly whenever I listen to you. Respect. Okay. Okay. Tracy said, I predicted an earthquake last week. Tracy, we have so many earthquakes. So many. I mean, all day long. We're having earthquakes now somewhere around the world or whatever. That's the thing, to be able to pinpoint exactly where the earthquake is what people are looking for. And the seismic activity on the Richter scale. Now if you can predict where is that and say what, you know then okay, then people will start saying, well, I think Tracy is on to something. Okay. Tracy said, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but I must get this out. This goddamned car fentanyl has taken so many people I know that I quit counting after 143. Oh my goodness. I heard, now this is the way they're saying that there's Finny in the Henny. Those that know. Okay. Tracy said the only persons that we are competing against is ourselves. And for some people, the only war that is going on is within themselves. And I can sit down and tell when people are at war with themselves. They never seem to be happy. They're constantly complaining that the just everything in the world upsets them. They never smile. They never wish good for anybody, and everybody is out to get them. Those people are definitely at war, constantly in victim mode every single day of their lives. Those are the people you don't want to be around because they're really energy vampires. They are emotional vampires. They take everything from you and you're like totally exhausted when you're finished with them, and they have lies for days. They can lie. They are habitual pathological liars. And then they wonder why they're so miserable because they're at war within. War within, that's the worst type of existence. I almost think it's worse than just being in the world and just not having a memory, just living with amnesia. You understand? I think it's worse than amnesia and dementia. Did I tell you the truth? When you ain't got no truth in you and people are observing, you can't trick people. People are trying to figure out a way all day long when you're conversating with them how they can disrespect you. They're just waiting on ammunition, and once they catch you, they got you. And you can never recover, and it's very difficult to recover your reputation. Once it's damaged, it's damaged. Simple as that. Okay. Tracy said playing the victim is their only ammo. Mm-hmm. So anybody got any questions? Because we got a lot of things coming up the turnpike. And I'm telling you, as I was telling you all, y'all need to be preparing the best way y'all possibly know how. Now, some of the things that I want to do, because as soon as I told y'all, I see a blackout coming. That was like what? That was like 4 days ago I did that video. I said it's gonna be some major blackouts. Next thing I know, the airport, I think in Colorado, went blacked out. The next day, boop, total blackout. I think 2 days later. And I was telling you all, prepare yourselves for these blackouts. Now, a lot of people don't know what to do, but there are some things. Everybody needs flashlights on board. Everyone needs flashlights. Perhaps you can do solar flashlights. They got some large flashlights, those big, huge, square ones. That's a start. Okay. Um, then if you have your own home, you can get satellite panels and start Building up your collection for those. They have satellite solar lights that can go out in your yard. And I mean, they put out a lot of lumens. That's what I'm getting ready to do. I want to strap some all throughout my backyard because I told y'all, I say like last week in my town, the entire town lost power at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm in a sundown town at that. And I was like, oh, whoa. I said, I couldn't see nothing. I said, this is a good time to have some solar lights just placed everywhere. And that's what I plan on doing. So y'all may want to invest in that too. A good place to get some solar outdoor panel lights would be Timu. Believe it or not, I've been doing a lot of shopping on there, and I've been very impressed with what I'm getting. I stopped Shin. Shin wants to send me all my stuff. I said, "Oh no, I'm done with them." They be sending me little advertisements, but it's getting to the point. Shin is running into some kind of trouble. I don't know what it is. They had started sending me like broken items and stuff that weren't any good, and light in the box do not fool with them. I'm telling you, I bought a pair of linens or fake linen pants, and I ordered a 5 extra large because I said I ain't taking no chances because them Asian sizes are very tiny. So I got a 5 extra large. How about it was like an extra small? I said, oh no, I spent $250 on that stuff, man. Everything in there was not true to size. Don't ever waste your money with light in the box. Don't do it. But yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to start with your solar lights. Get everything solar. Even if you have to charge those lights up, they look like huge panels. They're square, and they put out a lot of lumens. And you could take those and put them outside. And if your lights are off at nighttime, honey, you can put that inside your house, light it all up, light up a whole room. Hello? And then put it back outside in the daytime and let it charge back up. Start buying those because you're going to regret it if you don't listen to what I'm saying, because it's coming. Blackouts are coming. Even Trump saying it himself, he said that we need to get ourselves ready for blackouts. Then we also talked about Cuba, the fact that the United States government is putting will put sanctions or tariffs on anyone who try to transport oil to Cuba. So Cuba grid has gone down, and they don't have any electricity there. The last I heard, Russia's going to start sending a ship there to kind of get them some oil over there, but they're taking a chance because the American government say, hey, look, anybody that try to give anything to Cuba is going to be in trouble with us. But Russia has decided they're going to send it anyways. And we talked about the fact that, some sources said that Russia attempted, and the Navy ships, American Navy ships, turned them around. I don't know how true that is. I do know that Mexico has been sending aid to them, food or what have you. And when the ship goes back to Mexico, they load it back up and then they send it back. You see, so they've been doing things like that. Like I was telling everybody, let's pray for Cuba because we have a lot of women there who are giving birth. And, if you give birth to a baby and it's premature, their hospitals are running on generators, y'all. So let's pray for the women and children and men also, but definitely let's pray for these babies because these babies are not eating. They are running out of food. We talked about how there was a lady crying, an older lady crying. She said, I can't take it anymore. No food, no food. And there was a man in America said that he's going to fly over and start sending as much as he possibly can by flight. I don't know how he's going to do that because even here, flights are being canceled in the United States. Just like I told y'all, I said it's going to come a time you won't be able to get out of this country. And I was telling everybody, I said, if you want to leave, now is the best time to leave. I don't think nobody be remembering what I say. Everybody's so busy just, listening to my voice so they can get to some sleep. But y'all better listen to me. I had warned you all. I've been warning you all for years this day was coming. Uh-huh. Rod says, I have solar powered lights. They charge in the day so you can use them at night. Cool technology. Well, great. That's what I'm recommending. To get you something with a lot of lumens and let it charge up outside, bring it in, honey, it might light up a whole room. Have one for each room, you know what I mean? And then put it back outside, let it charge up. And that's your electricity, right? I mean, your light electricity for you, but now you may want to get more solar panels if you want to power up a TV. But even at that, if power goes off, well, guess what? Your routers are not going to be working properly, Wi-Fi and all of that. So you need an alternative, to TV. You may just want to, don't throw your DVDs away just yet. You might need them. Because if the power goes out, your apps and things of that nature, you won't be able to use them. That's going to be a problem, depending on, I don't know what you got. I don't know if you got a satellite internet. I don't know if you got cable internet or what. But I know here that when my electricity goes out, I have issues with the router and receiving. You see what I mean? Internet service when the power is down. Meaning that I know what y'all gonna say, well, mom, the power's off. That's probably why you're not getting anything from the internet. I'm saying that when the power comes back on, we're still having issues with the internet. They go hand in hand. So we may have to wait a few hours before the internet reboots itself back up. So this is why I am recommending, okay? I am recommending that you get you a DVD player and keep getting your DVDs. Matter of fact, the thrift stores are starting to sell DVDs for no more than $1, $2 because they think, hey, we don't need these anymore. So now you can just grab everything off the shelves. Mr. Willis just constantly collecting DVDs. So don't give up on those. Have your bubble TV. Get your little bubble television. So if all else fails, you'll have a little bit of light coming from the static. Yes. Hey, Ancient Soul, how you doing? Oh, Rod says, like I said, your voice can be a double-edged sword. You speak the truth, but if you soothe with it, people won't always hear you. LOL. I believe you. You're right. It was a late. Okay, I told everybody, say Haiti is getting ready to have an earthquake. And it's a lady. She contacted me. She said, she texted me. She said, you're right. Haiti did have an earthquake. She said, I wished you had have had more confidence in your voice. I would have taken it much more serious. That's what she said. Now, I'm not here to convince anybody. All I can say is come on in and listen to me and listen to me good. It's totally up to you how you perceive it. I also have lots of people to come to me and thank me. And they say, I listened to you and you didn't steer me wrong. So it just depends on, you understand? It depends on yourself. It don't depend on me. It depends on what frequency you on. I'm not here to soothe. I'm not here to coddle. So if that's what you decide you want to do, you're going to miss out on a whole lot. You definitely need to keep your ears wide open, understand, and don't miss anything. If you have to go back, because I have too many people telling me, hey, it came out just like you said it would. And by the way, I got my charms ready. Okay, if you need any charms, let me know because they do work. They work like a charm. Okay, so get yourself, get your munions ready. Hello, Mama is in business. I'm gonna show y'all a few of them that I'm sending out to clients or what have you. This is the new year. Okay, even though it's moving pretty fast. Why not start off with a good charm? Hello? What you said, Tracy said only Port of France. Okay. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions? What you say? Your power was off for hours and you got a jackery? What is a jackery? Explain to us what that is. I'm up here looking that up. Oh, okay, I see. It's a solar generator. Huh. I think we need to be investing in that ancient soul. Thank you so much for that. And guess what, Tim? You look like they got one. They have one at Tim. You. Uh huh. Like okay, here for patriots. They have a easy monthly payment plans on them. It's just no excuse not to start getting stuff together. You know what I mean? And America is running low on oil. I mean, that's what it said. Now I don't know how true it is. And there's a place called the Strait Hormuz. Press one if you ever heard of Strait Hormuz. That's the area where all the oil goes through that channel in the ocean. And they are under heavy surveillance. And if anything does not look right, baby, not only will they hijack you, but they will blow ships up, airplanes or whatever. But it is said that Iran has straight Hormuz. I guess I'm saying this right. Actually blocking oil from the United States. Hmm. So they playing monopoly over there. Okay. Ancient Soul said 300 watts for 130 at Walmart. That cheap? Oh gosh. I need to check them out. So Ancient Soul, you was out of electricity for a long time? What had your power out? Your power was out in Texas for 2 days. Good Lord. Woo. Hey, we don't realize how fortunate we are until that power go out. Lord. Especially that internet. I mean, oh man, you talking about somebody get to acting up over here? Being without internet for an hour, I'm so miserable. I'm like, how did I ever live without it? you know? Oh wow. That's a wake up call, ancient soul. It's a wake up call. Like right now, I'm investigating how to cook without electricity, all of those different things, because Trump did say expect some blackouts. Hmm. Yeah. What do you eat? The whole town is blacked out or what have you. Fuel shortages and stuff like that. You can't get up and go anywhere or what have you. How are you going to eat? You got to learn how to heat food up outside. Chimu has all of that. I was just looking at all of that today, and I was like, wow. They had the little filters where you could put like creek water, I guess, in a cup, and then they have like a filter straw where you can drink from that or what have you. So I was like, what we really need to do is get a backpack and just get everything. They got this little tool where you can start a fire constantly, and you don't have to be worried about matches because matches run out. Lighter fluid in your automatic lighters, they run out. But if you get this device, you can continue on lighting. These things need to go in the backpack, instant foods and everything, and an emergency kit. It even had like things where you can use tape to suture cuts and all of that stuff like that. Yes. It's going to be crazy, man. Hospitals are going to be closing down. I'm so concerned. And medicine's not available. And people are looking to control diabetes, high blood pressure. You got people on dialysis machine. Oh my God. We just really need to be praying right now, y'all. We really need to pray. Okay, butane stove. Okay, okay. Ancient Soul said, get you a butane stove. Uh huh. Get you plenty of salt. In the event something happens, you may say, "Hey, I'm gonna grow vegetables. I'm gonna grow fruit, things like that." But if you ain't got no salt, you are still in trouble. You need salt. You need a greenhouse. That's the only way to grow something. I got corn out there growing right now. With these freezes, I doubt if the corn comes up. I had planted sunflowers and everything. You can't really grow nothing outside like you used to. That stuff has to be grown in a greenhouse first. And you get cheap greenhouses on. I mean, people are not taking me serious. To not take me serious, I'm telling you, is to get in a whole lot of trouble. They got little cheap greenhouses for no more than $100 where you can start off all your little vegetables. Yep. Because thinking that you're going to sow straight in the ground now, a freeze can come at any time. We're not over these freezes yet. Now, when I was growing up, by the time March got here, sometimes occasionally you may have a little snow, but it's an occasional thing. Occasionally, maybe, maybe get really, really cold, but not like this. No. Mm-mm. Okay. Ross says, when will we get to see you again? I miss your videos, especially when you're wearing witchy clothes. Hope I'm not being too personal. If so, I apologize. Oh, I'm going to be doing cosplay, Rod. Oh, wait till I start my cosplay. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yes. I'm gonna be outside doing my cosplay. Yeah. There's a lady on TikTok. She does a lot of cosplay, and sometimes she dresses like a forest tree. And I swear she looks exactly like me. Mr. Wood says, "Is that you?" I said, "No, that's not me. I don't know who that is." But she has a little leaf, on her head and all of the little, tree like garb, all over her body. And she has these contacts on that make her eyes look like cat eyes or whatever. But when she takes it all off, she looks nothing like me. But when she dresses up like a forest tree, I'm like, wow, that's definitely me. So I look at a lot of cosplay on TikTok, y'all. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Okay. Okay, so I guess since there are no other questions, Okay, going once, going twice. I guess I'll leave. Okay. Night, night, night.